Dr. Traeger here. We just finished up with the 12-month visit, and at 12 months there is a lot of really cool things going on. First and foremost, remember that these videos are for us to review some of the things that we may not have got to spend enough time on in the office, and also continue to share these with your family and other people that couldn't make it to the appointment with you, because over the next couple months and years there's going to be a lot of really cool developments, and it's just kind of nice to get another set of ears listening to these things. So first things first, so now that we're at 12 months, hopefully you guys had a birthday party. And that's kind of cool. And people say, it's just a baby. They don't realize, they're not going to remember this. And you're right, they're not going to, but you're going to. You're going to remember this birthday party, and you're going to just remember the time that you celebrated, because it's been a long year. And routine of celebrating milestones and getting to those things, knowing that it's coming every year, or the start of a new school year, or the start of these different things. These are really special times that you guys can have some good memories. So try and celebrate. It doesn't have to be much. It doesn't have to be this big blow up kind of thing. It could be just, hey, this is the routine that we're going to do when it's your birthday to help celebrate for you. And your kids are going to appreciate it, and then you're going to appreciate it. And they're really going to start to look forward to it more as time goes on. So now that we're at 12 months, the eating and stuff is really, really huge. So at 12 months, like we talked about before, the baby should be eating whatever you guys are. So the rules still apply. Don't choke the baby. That's from now for the rest of their life. But everything else they can have. So if you haven't done honey, now's the time to do honey. If you haven't done other weird foods and things like that, yeah, you definitely should be doing some weird foods. So they should have fish. They should have some scrambled eggs. They should have all those different things. But now that we're 12 months, what we want is the baby to have as much food that looks like what's on your plate. So a really cool thing, we tell dads this at 12 months, which is a lot of fun. At this age, this is when you can get to go on your first dad date with your kid. Okay, it's a lot of fun. So what you do is you tell your wife, you say, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take the baby, I'm gonna get out of here for a couple hours, and you're gonna go take care of yourself and do what you probably haven't gotten to do for a very long time. Go get your nails done, or you just go hang out, go for a walk, do whatever you need to do. And you say, all right, I'm gonna take the baby, and I'm not gonna take a diaper bag. I'm just gonna change the kid before we go, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna get some lunch or something like that, and you go wherever you want. So let's say you go to Jimmy John's or something, then you say, fine, the baby gets a little bit of your sandwich, a little bit of ham, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of bread, don't choke the baby, and you brought with you a yogurt and a fruit cup, and you just sit there and you guys kill time for an hour. You get to hang out and have a good time. And then there's that bottle of whole milk, okay, that you bring with you. And then you come home and you change the baby one more time, and then it's nap time for 2 or 3 hours, and that's like a 4-hour date for the two of you guys. So it's a lot of fun. And so yeah, that's what it should be looking like. You should be eating whatever your kid is eating, okay, and a little bit more kid food and stuff like that. So at this age, don't overthink it. Just feed the baby. Just have a good time with it and see how it goes. If you're not giving enough variety of your foods for yourself, then you should be expanding and doing more of those things as well. So just have a good time with it. Try not to stress out about it too much. Now, we mentioned there about whole milk. So if you're still breastfeeding and you want to continue to breastfeed as long as you want to. Okay, that's great. There's no reason to do whole milk if you're doing breast milk. But if you want to do some whole milk and supplement with that, that's perfectly fine too. If you're doing formula, go ahead, finish up the formula that you have and use the whole milk then. Now, whole milk is kind of a hot button issue for some folks. Some folks don't want to do whole milk, and other families, they want to drink whole milk like crazy. So what we want you to think about is think about it kind of reasonably about this, okay? So number one, how much is too much whole milk? Well, if you're taking more than 40 to 50 ounces a day of whole milk, oh my goodness, that's a lot of whole milk, okay? And it's probably gonna hurt their stomach, it's probably gonna bother them some. So, and the worst thing is that if you're taking too much whole milk in, it'll actually bind the baby's iron and will make their iron levels go down and then make them anemic as they get older. So less than 40 to 50 ounces a day, man, that's like 4 or 5 huge sippy cups of whole milk a day, and that's a lot of whole milk. And then other kids, how much is too little whole milk? Well, you can't make kids drink anything. So what we do is you offer them the little 4 to 6 ounces in a sippy cup, or if you're still using bottles, I think that's okay, but you should be working on sippy cups more at this point. Give them the 4 to 6 ounces, breakfast, lunch, dinner, before you go to bed, maybe before snack too. Yeah, that's not bad. If they drink it, great, they drink it. If they don't drink it, then that's fine too. You're at least offering it to them and see how it goes. Now, we would prefer that you do offer whole milk. I know 2% skim, some families do those different things, but right now at this age, we think that the fats that are found in whole milk are better for brain development than missing out on those things. So unless I tell you specifically, hey, I want you to do skim or 2% because of some other reason, go ahead and offer the whole milk. And if they don't drink it, then that's okay, all right? So what's really interesting is that 12 months, people start dabbling with sippy cups or whole milk, and they'll take that milk, or the breast milk or the whole milk, and they'll put it into a sippy cup, and the kid won't drink it. And they'll be like, what's going on? Is there something wrong? Or they'll try and titrate it. They'll say, add this much milk, add this much. And we say, no, just offer it to them and see what happens. If they won't drink it, then that's okay. And somebody, grandma, my mom, grandma will say, but if they don't drink it, they're going to get dehydrated. No, they'll drink when they're thirsty, okay? But if they don't like it, then let them drink, whenever they're ready for it. Don't feel like you have to push them on the whole milk. If they drink it, great. If they don't drink it, then that's okay. And then the rest of the time, if it's not whole milk or breast milk, then we would like you to go ahead and offer just water in a sippy cup. That's perfectly fine. And they'll drink it when they're thirsty. They're not going to get dehydrated. And they're not going to get dehydrated because they're peeing at least 4 or 5 times a day. And that's okay. So kids that drink less, pee less, which are way easier to toilet train. So let's worry about that. Let them drink whenever they want to. But when their baby's not drinking very much, that's when grandma or daycare, somebody swoops in and says, well, they have to drink something. So they start doing juice and things like that. And really what I'd like for you to do is avoid juice until we're 2. Okay, that is the most current recommendation from the American Academy of Pediatrics. No juice, things like that until the baby is 2 years old. Okay, so we talked about that, the eating and things like that at 12 months. Usually these kids are bottomless pits. They eat and eat and eat, and they just have a really good time. So just go ahead and feed them. And how much is too much? Well, again, this is a parenting kind of a thing. If you're sitting there and you're like, man, I've been sitting here forever, I'm bored, then stop, okay? If the kid starts throwing the food, you get one more chance, and then you stop, okay? You don't reach for something else. Or if they'll eat, 600 French fries, well, maybe that's not the right kind of thing. But if they want to overdose on green beans, yeah, sure, go for it. Green beans and peas, those are great. You can't really hurt yourself with those things, and go from there. All right, so weird food, by the way, does equal weird poops and stuff like that. So just be prepared. It can be all kinds of different things. And when you introduce whole milk, sometimes kids do seem to poop a little bit differently than that. If it seems to bother their stomach, then back off for a little bit. Okay, that's okay. And then start to reintroduce it as time goes on. But we try not to worry about that too much at this point. Remember, if their poop is a little more firm, fruity things or juicy things like peaches, pears, things like that, move things along a little bit more fiber stuff, apples, bananas, things like that typically bind you up a little bit more with that. All right, and then now that we're at 12 months sleeping, again, hopefully your baby's been sleeping really good this whole time. At 12 months, they should be sleeping really good still, which is great. So it's normal to take, 1, maybe 2 naps throughout the day, a short one in the morning and a longer one in the afternoon, and then sleeping all night long without being fed in the middle of the night. So if the baby wakes up in the middle of the night, check on them, change them, put them right back down, but please don't start feeding them again, and definitely don't bring them in your room, because that is when you're really asking for more issues with it. So at 12 months, there's a couple really big developmental milestones that are a lot of fun at this age. So the first thing is at 12 months, the baby should be able to stand next to something and kind of cruise along next to it. So kind of take steps holding on to things, which is great. They should be imitating more of your gestures as well. So if you're doing a little bit of sign language and things like that, they'll start to figure that out too. So start using those kinds of things. And then they should be using the words mom and dad specific. So not 12 months and 0 days, 12 months and 30 days, anywhere in that 12-month period. They'll actually start to say mama when mama comes to the room and dada when dada comes to the room. And then a lot of times there's one other word or it's a noise for something. So if it's buh for ball or buh for bottle or something, you're like, yep, whenever the kid says that, that's what they mean this. And that's what we're looking for there. Language development is kind of slow right now. So just keep talking to them. And then 15 months, it gets a lot more fun. And then 18 months, that's really when it starts to get a lot more exciting. So kind of be prepared for that. So at this age, they should be able to follow a couple of directions as well. So give it to me. That's great. They'll be able to hand you stuff. You don't want to be like with your dog and they got the tennis ball in their mouth and you're like, getting away from it. No, just give it to me. Things like that. And then also you notice that they only use 2 fingers when they go to pick things up. That's kind of cool. And then a really neat thing you can try is you can take a cup and you can have them learn to drop things into it, which is a lot of fun too. So it's a little developmental things that are supposed to happen at 12 months. And also routine-wise at 12 months is big, okay? They love routines. They love knowing that this is going to happen after this. And that helps set some order for your family and just your day as time goes on as well. So at this point, we would love for you to try brushing your kids' teeth before they go to bed and in the morning. That'd be great. It's a good routine. Now, brushing their teeth, man, it's some families and some kids, they just love this. My kids never really were able to get it. So we're going to get in there, we're going to brush your teeth and we're going to say, okay, we're going to brush your teeth. I go first. I go first, okay? And then you brush and you say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay, we brushed your teeth, congratulations. Here, now it's your turn, and let them do it. They're gonna fight you on it, but what you're showing them is that I'm in control. I'm gonna go first, I'm gonna do it. And then as they get better, then it's, you slow down that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after a while they're letting you go and stuff like that, supposedly, okay? 2 of my kids were great with it. One of them, no, just the whole time they wanted to bite it and chew on it, and then finally got better on 2 or 3 or something like that. So it can be a challenge, but just go for it and see how it goes. Because remember, you're the parent, you're in control. I brush your teeth first, then you go. Because if they go first and then you try and do it, well, then they've already, no, I've already brushed my teeth. I don't need that from you. So start setting those kind of ground rules there. Also at 12 months, since we're cruising along things, don't be surprised. They got to baby-proof the house even more and kind of watch out for those things. You're going to get fingers jammed in doors and drawers and things like that too. And then also with baby gates. Baby gates are really interesting at this age because you have to be really careful to not have them at like the top of the stairs, because now you have a 12-month-old that's leaning on that gate at the top of the stairs, and then they can fall, or they can knock over gates, and then as they get older, they'll start to try and crawl all over them or climb over them. So just be really careful with the placement of those things as well. And then when you're in the car seat, yes, you're still in the car seat, still rear facing until 2. Okay, I know grandma is going to say, hey, at 12 months, we switched you around. You're right. We do it at 2 now, okay, which is really great. And then playing, outside, make sure we're supervising those kids. Sunscreen, big floppy hats, things like that. If it's out in the wintertime, if it's too cold, yeah, they shouldn't be out. Be safe with all those different things. And what's really cool is that when they're playing, like if they have the summertime and there's like a water table or something like that, you do have to supervise them, okay? If they fall into something like that or a bucket, I mean, that could be really, really, really tough. So that's great. So a couple last little things here. This is a good opportunity for you to take your phone right now and program in the poison control phone number, okay? So the state of Illinois, or the poison control number for the state is, it's a 1-800-222-1222, okay? So 222-1222. And that way, if something comes up, a baby gets into something, then you just call them and they'll explain to you what to do. If you call us and say, hey, the baby got into Drano or something like that, we will say, okay, is baby okay? Breathing okay? Okay, cool. That's not an ER situation, call poison control, and they'll walk you through it. They're really the experts in those kinds of things, and they can go from there. And then the last thing is now that we're 12 months old, you got a couple more of your vaccines today, and the vaccines that we get at 12 months are typically the measles vaccine along with the hepatitis A and the last of the pneumonia vaccines. So we're getting even more of the vaccines now, and we are almost done with your childhood series of vaccines. You get a couple more at 15 months and then one more at 18 months. So the thing is about fevers, okay? So now that we're 12 months old, colds, viruses, fevers, those things are going to kind of come and go. And again, the same rule applies, that if the baby is concerning, not acting right in any way, we don't care what the temperature is, we want to come in and see you. But hopefully you've had some experience with fevers now, and you've said, oh wow, look, you have a fever, they're otherwise acting okay, we can give some Tylenol, some ibuprofen, things like that, and then see how the day goes, okay? And if they're acting okay, a lot of times within 24 hours, things are getting better. But if they're still like especially fussy or something's concerning, like, hey, I think there's an ear infection, then come on in, that's okay. But again, there is still no number that we'd be concerned about. If it's 102 versus 101 or 104, the higher the fever, the more you're gonna feel crummy, but generally, it's how they're acting, and that's what we need to be especially attuned to. So that's great. So those are those things here. All right. Any questions on anything? Feel free to reach out to us at any point in time. And the next time that we'll see you guys is at your 15-month appointment. All right. Enjoy this age. It gets a lot of fun after this point. And you're right. I'd probably say that every single time, but we'll see you guys again in 3 months.